Welcome to Small Talk Daily for Thursday, March 26th, 2009. This morning I'd like to go through the build script that I use for BottomFeeder development builds, and I'm going to post this in its entirety in the blog post that goes with this screencast so that you can copy it down and use it. The reason I'm doing this is that I've been periodically asked over the years how to build a BottomFeeder development image, and in the past it's been relatively difficult. Now it's fairly straightforward so long as you have all the right pieces, meaning the script that I'm going to go over. So there's a bunch of stuff that I load in here just as a bunch of parcels. Not all of this is necessary on, say, Mac, Linux, Unix. I just have everything loaded in so that I can use the same image on Windows and on Mac because I run both here using Parallels on my Mac. So scrolling down, the more important thing is that most of this comes from store. So first I import a bunch of stuff from my store repository with this line of code here, and that assumes that I previously saved this out using this functionality up here. You don't see it here, but if you have store loaded, there is a menu here that allows you to export your store repository. So I've done that already. And then finally down here I have this set of code that I've gone over before, and if you just want to load the latest version, which is appropriate for some of this stuff, you just do newest version with name for a bundle or package. But if you want to load a specific version, like some of this stuff, I want to load specifically version 7.10 of image config, and further down I've been porting this code to 7.7. So there are some things that are in flux, so like time SO zone, there's some work going on with engineering. I wanted to make sure I get the right version of that. And then further down, for things like WS Bundle and BottomFeeder itself, I've got newer versions that are for 7.7, the dev stream, so I want to make sure I load the specific versions here. Then down at the bottom, and you can't see this, let me bring this up. Down here at the very bottom, I've got some code that sets some specifics for the application itself. So that's really all there is to this. I'm going to, again, post this in its entirety. So let's go ahead and show you how you get this going. So let's exit this image, and then I'll bring my shell up here, and I'm going to just do this. I'm going to start my image with a -file command, and I'm going to hand it this script. And what you'll see happen is things start scrolling through the transcript as it loads things in, and then eventually it's going to load in my repositories, and once it does that, you're going to see it start loading things in from store. One thing you may or may not have noticed when I went through that is I loaded a package from Contributed called Less Progress. The reason I did that is that instead of having dialogues fly up at me asking me questions, I just wanted to have all the progress reported down here instead of having dialogues pop up, because this way I can go to another screen using Expose and not have to worry about any of this stuff. So let's pause this for a moment. Now at this point I'm loading things from store, and you can see that being reported down here. Now it doesn't do the nice tidying up of the reported numbers, so you see weird things like 150%, 200% complete. Don't worry too much about that, just notice that it is in fact loading things, and more importantly, I can go back to other screens like this and not have to worry about having all of the dialog boxes pop up to report progress. So we'll let that run for a while, and then I'll come back and show you what happened. Okay, and as you can see, the image has saved itself, and if I go to the Tools menu, I've got BottomFeeder and the posting tool in there, so if I open that up, and there's my blog, if I click on one of the items, there it is. So you see I've loaded everything in, I'll post the script, and if you wanted to take a look at BottomFeeder, you can do it yourself. So that's about it for today. Until next time, have fun with small talk.